General Felipe Souza, Chairman of the Administration of Attafondem Calizor. Mr. Modobelikar, Sir Shiva Taluka. आयज आमी एकदम खोशी जाल्या की आमचे मने कालूस येवन आनी आमचो हो बान इनोवेशन केला. परत कालूसाक हांवें जायतो सोदायलो. तसोच आमचो कामत ज्ञानेश्वर जावं आमचो PA ऑफ कालूस ताका सगळ्यांक स्वतान हांवें ताका पळय काम हांवें करून जाय. परत आमचो लॉंग स्टँडींग आमचो काम आसलें ताका लागून हांव आतां आयज सर कालूसाक हांव चड देव बरें करून दिता. आनी म्हाका आमचे सगळे शेतकारी जे आसात तांणी सगळे फुडें येवन काम करचें. त्याच भशेन आमचे हे तरणाटे यूथ भुरगे आसात तांकां उलोवप मारता न्हय फकत ही भोंवन कामां करची पूण ज्या शेताचें कामां आसात तांणी घेवचीं. ही जी माणूस आसा ती आमकां इतले तेंव जालो आमकां जायते आमकां ट्रबल दिलो ना आमचे लागीं फंड्स नाहलो पूण जायत्या जाणांनी आमकां थोडे पयशे दिले आनी आमी ते जायती खावटी मारून काडली. आनी आयज आमची जे काम आमी चिंतलेलें आमचें पेंडींग जें आसलें तें आमकां आयज खातीर पावलें. सर कालूसाक हांव परतून देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. तेच भशेन आमच्या गव्हर्मेंटाक आनी तेच भशेन आमच्या कामाक. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
मोगाल भाव भयणीनो, आमचो मोगाल MLA डॉक्टर कालूस, आमी बऱ्या सोबीत जाग्यार आसा, एकदम सोबीत जाग्यार आसा. उदकां, दोंगर, शेतां, माड, आमची इगोर्ज, सायबीन आनी सगल्यो गरजेच्यो वस्तू आमच्या मनांत हाडटा आनी देवान ते आमच्या हातांत घातल्यात सगळें राखूंक सांबाळूंक उदकांचेर आनी जमनीचेर दोनी पोंड चलोवंक मनशांच्या बऱ्याक पडटा ते भाशेन ह्यो सगल्यो वस्तू मांडून हाडूंक. जे सगल्यो वस्तू आमी हांगासर केल्यात आमी देवाक आर्गां दिवंक सोदता. देवाची रचना मानून घेता आनी आमचेर आनी आमच्या वावराचेर बेसांव घाल म्हूण मागता. आयज हांगासर आसात ती मागीर उरलेल्या दिसांनी जे सगळे बांदपांत जायतीं जाणां मिसळ आसतलीं ऑर्गनायज करपाक प्लॅनिंग करपाक हे सगळ्याक पावलार पावल न्हय फकत हेच घडयेक पूण सगळ्या वेळार देवाचेर आमी पातयेवन रावता. देवाक आमी आर्गां दिता. ताणें आमकां दिल्ले जबाबदारी पासत आनी दिल्ल्या देण्या पासत. तर आज एकाच मनान एकाच काळजान आमी सगळीं देवाचें बेसांव मागुया. ह्या जाग्याचेर मनांत आहा त्या सगळ्या वावराचेर सगळीं भाव भयणां मिसळ जातलीं ताचेर ह्या गांवच्या फुडाराचेर गांवच्या गराब्याच्या फुडाराचेर शेतकामत्याच्या फुडाराचेर सगळ्याचेर देवाचें बेसांव मागुया.
आयज आमच्या टँडन एसोसिएशन जे आहा तशेंच आमची कोमलेदाद आहा तशेंच आमचे गांवचे सरपंच आनी विथ द हेल्प ऑफ आवर MLA कालूस अल्वारीस तशेंच एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर आनी आमचे एग्रीकल्चर डायरेक्टर आनी हेर आमचे वांगडी गव्हर्मेंट सर्वंट जे आमचे एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंटाचे आहात तेंच्या हेल्पान आयज हो बांद न्यू बांदपाचो जालो. ताका लागून आमी आमच्या MLAकूय चडांत चड देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. सगळ्या जे वावुरल्या फुडार घेतला सगळ्यांनी तांकांय चडांत चड देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. आनी म्हाका दिसता अशें की बांद रिपेर जाल्या उपरांत लोकांक जी लुकसाण ज्या शेतकाऱ्यांक लुकसाण जाताली ती ह्यान फुडें जावची ना. आनी जे आमचे शेतकार भाव आहात ते शेतकार भाव लुकसाण जायना म्हणून आनीक शेतां करपाक फुडें सरतले म्हणून हांव खात्री अशी बाळगता आनी म्हाजी दोन उतरां सोंपयता.
आनी सांगपाचें म्हणल्यार हो आयचो जो पळय बांद जो पळय आमी इनॉग्रेट करता ह्या बांदा खातीर तुमच्या हॉनरेबल MLAन बाब कालूस फेरेरान म्हाका दिसता भरपूर प्रयत्न केले कडेन आसा. खूब तेणी धांवपळ केली. आतां ही धांवपळ करता आसतना हांव तरी अशें म्हणून की आमी तांकां खूब त्रास दिले. आमी तांकां त्रास दिले म्हळ्यार कित्याक हो जो पळय बांद आसा हो बांदाची लेंथ सादारण 2.850 मिटर्स किलोमिटर आसा. सो जेन्ना इतलो व्हडलो बांद जाता तेन्ना बांदाचे इस्टिमेटूय बी चड जाता आनी इस्टिमेट चड जाल्ले कारणान कितें जाता तो जेन्ना पास जाता बांद तेन्ना खुबशा स्टेजींतल्यान वयता म्हळ्यार ताका वेगवेगळ्यो कमिटीज आसता आनी ह्यो वेगवेगळ्यो कमिटी कडेन कमिटी फुड्याक पर्सनली वचोन तो हो जो पळय प्रोजेक्ट आसा हो पास करून घेवपाचें काम तुमच्या आमदारान केलें म्हणून आयचो हो दीस आमी आज पळयता आनी ह्या दिसाक हे सगळे म्हाका दिसता त्यांच्या प्रयत्नाचेंच फळ कित्याक ते स्वताक सगळे कडेन गेले सगळी सेक्शनाक आमच्या फायनान्साची वेगवेगळी सेक्शन असतात त्या सेक्शनाक वचोन तेणी स्वताक सामको अपील केलो स्वताक तेणी सगळ्या ऑफिसरांक हें केलें की आपल्या हो बांद जाय म्हणून. सो हे दाखयता की तेंची काम करपाची व्हडविकाय. तर हांव चड उलयना आमच्या ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टरान तुमकां सगळ्याक आयज परबी दिल्या आनी तुमकां सगळ्या कडेन एक मागणी केल्या की तुमी आनी तुमचे आमदार फुडें सरून ही जी पळय तुमची गांवची सोबीतकाय आसा हो बांद टायमार कंप्लीट करून तुमी ही ग्रीनरी तुमी मेंटेन करतले अशें तेणी आपली परबी तुमकां दिले कडेन आसा आनी इतलें सांगून हांव तुमकां सगळ्यांक देव बरें कर म्हणटा. थँक्यू.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I want to tell you one thing that I'm very happy. After I got elected, I came here and saw this place. We had conducted an inspection. Any farmers amak sanglole. Not only the breach of the bund, but also the doors, the manus doors which were getting washed out or being removed sometimes. So we did follow it up. And we managed to finally get this resolution, and today we are doing the inauguration for the commencement of the work. But one thing I want to mention to you, that if agriculture has to be saved, we have to protect the bunds, we have to protect the manus, and if we need to do that, we need to work with a little more expedition. Our director Sandeep Faldesai, who's here, Director of Agriculture, I have known him before he's become a director, and I known him to be a good officer, and even when he was deputy director and he had to take charge, he had told me, sir, whatever your work we will be there to do for you. Took over and also gave me the same reassurance again, and he even told me there was one particular file which had disappeared. He got it reconstructed and we got the work tendered and the work has begun. That's the Goljuem Band, if you know that. And this, what I want to say, the department is very good. The department is genuinely concerned about agriculture. But there is bureaucratic hurdles which comes at the secretariat level, which keeps the files going in loops, and that is what delays the work. Now this proposal which was there was long back, and after years it has fructified. That was after persistent follow-up, persistent demand, my personal connections with somebody or the other. That should not happen. According to me, if these breaches in the bunds take place, saline water enters. In this case especially, we have the Mapsa river which is called saline water. If that enters, the farmers were even complaining that saline water is entering. Our wells also are getting spoiled, and therefore the entire place gets finished, and then you have weeds and you have unwanted plants growing, and the fields are getting destroyed. If there is a genuine concern, the department follows it up. But once it passes above that, I think it's very difficult for the purpose of pushing the files, and this for them is very difficult. But I want to thank particularly Radhesh Kenaudekar, who is the EE, Kamath, Soil Conservation AE of the Agriculture Department, who had to hear many words probably in the vocabulary which were not being said otherwise because of the work not being done. He's been like the fielder who's been fielding off many questions, shouting, anger, but I thank him also because he has genuinely been pursuing, following up and giving updates and telling me what was to be done. And Naneshwar Gaunkar, who is the JE, for also having worked on the field and got these things done. It's a teamwork. Remember one thing, at the end of the day, it's not one above the other, but it's a teamwork which brings this spirit together. I, at one point of time, even suggested that these kind of things, because you can't allow every day's continuation of the bund being unattended, leads to more damage which becomes irreversible. And I suggested at that time to the Agriculture Minister and the Collector, you should take this up under Disaster Management Act. Because in Disaster Management Act, you act promptly. You give the directions, it is fast-tracked. It can't be that the director has approved it, it passes through that level, and then for 1 year it is waiting in the Secretariat, file going round and round, and then finally getting approval after so much time. This should never happen, whether it's roads, whether it is agriculture, anything. So therefore I believe that the system needs a little overhaul, because the bureaucratic delay is what is causing not only inconvenience, then also you have escalation which takes place. And by the time the tender is out, they say the rate is revised. Now when the tender is out, some new formula is adopted, and all this kind of thing, Gati Shakti and all these kind of things start coming in. Again the file goes down and starts coming up again, which means I sometimes suspect, let me be honest with you, I sometimes suspect they don't have money to do the work. So every new formula is invited to file for a Darpak, which should not happen. Now as far as this work is concerned, I want to inform you that this work is called Strengthening of Calizor Attafondem bund at Moira and Bardez Taluka. I wish to thank our Padvigar also who was here, who has done the blessing. Yeah, Father Alexander, for having blessed this commencement of the work. The length of this work, as our director has mentioned, is 2.850 meters, which means 2 kilometers 850 meters, which is almost 3 kilometers. It's a very long bund and actually crosses over 3 of the panchayat wards. But it is in the work, it is only called Calizor Attafondem, but also Mohan Walwaikar's area is coming over here, Katulli is coming here. So it begins from here and goes the other side. It has 2 sluice gates, 2 manus is there, which they are also going to repair over here. It covers for the farmers an area of 50 hectares, and about 150 families will be benefited by it. The estimated cost was 15 crores 21 lakhs and 18,000, and the tendered cost is 10 crores 87 lakhs 91,982. Ripco Constructions from Fatorda has got this contract, and they will do the retaining wall on the either side, and I will give you these details, and replacement of the sluice gate they will do, and time limit for this is 1 year, and therefore I expect this work to be done, and I hope that it will give relief. Because, and I only one request I have, Kamat, we have done also that work at the Tin Manus, from Panari going to Tin Manus. Please take the farmers into consideration, because they know how to do these band works, they know how to put the material and how it is required, they know the tides which come in and go out. Because if you start using a road contractor to do this kind of work, it will be a disaster. It will start cracking, it will start opening, and after hardly 6 months we will have to be complaining that the work was not done properly. We don't want that kind of thing. We want, take them in confidence. I am not saying everybody's views must be accepted, but at least listen to them, and we can do that. Because finally, if you remember, in the previous days, the farmers with the landlord or the landowners, or just the landowners, they did up the bunds, and the bunds were not being breached. It was wonderful. And therefore today, you need to take those people who are in the field, who know what is to be done, they know how the effect takes place, take them in confidence, and I think we will have good resolutions, not just for our constituency, not just for this bund, but all across Goa they can do this. And remember, these bunds have been traditionally there for decades, not just under this government, previous government, even previous before the colonial regime, it has been in existence. And that is what made Goa the agrarian place. Agriculture was the mainstay of Goa, and today agriculture sadly is dying, and therefore we need to arrest this outflow of people who are into agriculture, who are going away for other things, and try to make agriculture more lucrative. And I can assure, if government gives us support, we will be able to help the farmers, help our people, help the rural economy, and help the village prosper. I thank each and everyone who is present here. I thank the panchayat also, and I thank specially Comunidad and Philip, who have been, especially Philip, who has been following up. I would say every day he was calling, every day he was following up, and he was making sure that everything was being done. Once again, a big thanks to the Agriculture Department, and I'm sure we will be able to get more works done, but this time I would expect it faster speed, and we hope that we can allow agriculture to flourish again. And therefore, I ask you to stand up together with us so that we can preserve our ecology, preserve our agriculture, and preserve the demography of our places. Thank you.